Hey everybody, if you're watching the replay, don't forget to follow, not just like. That way it'll alert you when I have a new video or when I go live. Got a pen up there. All right, remember when you jump on to say your name, where you're from. Buffy has been making TikToks with my videos, so it's all moved around. So let me pull you up on here. That way I can turn the comments off. Hey, Ren. Let's see. Here we go. Please be. The other day I did it so good. Hey, Sherry. So let's see if I can do it again. No, I didn't do it right. I want to put the comments over to the side. I don't know what I do. Maybe I need to minimize this. Nope, it went away. So no, that was not the right thing. Chris will come in here in a second. Hey Helen, y'all, I'm hot. Hope you had a great day. I sure did. It was so pretty here again in Georgia. Hey, from Iowa, Mississippi. All right. Hey, Karen from Louisiana. Thank you, Bree, for sprinkling. All right. I am going to Virginia, Missouri. I'm going to turn my comments off on here so you're able to see. Buffy has been making TikToks with my camera, and so I can't see. I mean, it's kind of a little twisted. So let me see if I can adjust my... I'll maybe come in here and make her play with it because she is the one that straightened it out for me last time. Hey, Janet from Tennessee. Hello, Dolores from Florida, North Dakota. Cheryl, y'all still getting snow? Oh, man, speak with the love from Texas. Thank you, Diana. Deanna, maybe am I saying that right? Mississippi. Hey, Rhonda from Spokane, Ohio. Thank you, Helen, for sprinkling. All right, y'all, we were going to do a little... seems like woodworking tonight, but I'm going to show you how to make this on different levels with different materials. Thank you so much. Okay, now you know I like working with the bigger like 5-gallon paint sticks. You can get them from Walmart in a 3-pack. They're like $1 maybe and 12 cents, something like that. We are getting freezing rain and snow, really cold coming. Listen, I saw where somebody just posted earlier, right before it came on here, that there's some freezing rain and cold temperatures coming towards Georgia. We might get some snow. So for all you people in Waynesboro, if something happens and it's horrible, please don't let anybody know that I was really hoping that it would come. Because it is supposed to rain here this weekend, but I haven't looked at any of the temperatures. Yes, it's Deanna. Okay. Thank you. It's good to hear from you too. All right, we are getting freezing rain and snow. Okay, so like here are your regular paint sticks, and I'll show you the difference in size. Okay, like this is like regular paint sticks. I usually order, like when I order a lot of stuff, instead of buying out at a store, I ordered like 50 from Amazon for maybe like $10 last summer. When I first started doing it, I was like, I'm always going to need all kind of paint sticks. And I'll tell you, they haven't been terrible, and I evidently picked up some really good ones. But because I ordered so many, they're not really good quality ones. A lot of them were really bad warped. I mean, these seem better, but there were some that were really, really like almost twisted. They were warped. So they're good to get for a low price if you're having to do a lot of things, but if you need them to be really straight, I would suggest maybe getting them from a hardware store, so you know they're packaged and they're flat. Okay, but a 5-gallon one, and I went ahead and cut the ends off of here. I'll show you the difference in them. A 5-gallon stir stick and this. This is just like your standard size. I really like these because they're pretty thick. They're always straight. They're not quite as cheap as when you get all of these, but you know, to make like a better sturdy craft, I tend to like these better. But these will work just fine. So just know everything I'm doing on this scale, you can do with these. I'm just, of course, going to do on a bigger scale. All right, and what we're going to do is look, I went to see Jennifer today, y'all. She is the one, my good friend, that does a lot of laser cutting with wood. And you know how I love to go and buy her pieces, especially if the Dollar Tree runs out of some kind of wood piece I want. You know, we'll just pull it up and she can really cut out any shape. It's kind of like Monogram. As long as she can pull it up on the internet, she can cut it for me. But I want to let you know that I will keep this size because I have 4 of them, and I can trace it out for you if you'd like to have this size on poster board. Now, it looks like to get this on a piece of paper, I would probably need a ledger sheet, which is like 11 by 17. Or I can actually send you one that's smaller that'll fit on a letter size. It takes up the whole, 11.5 inches of the letter size. But, it's not quite this big because I think we made this maybe around 18 inches. But if you want to send me your email, when I post a picture of this later on, sometimes I don't always see it in a thread, but after I post a picture of this, what we complete tonight, I'm going to put on there, email me if you want me to send you the letter size, which means 8.5 by 11.5 template for this bunny. Because it's really just a bunny, and we just cut it flat on the center. So I'm going to make mine on a little larger scale, but I'll tell you, this would work perfect with poster board, the styrofoam board that we used yesterday, because this is pretty much going to be decorative, and you can make it any size you want to. Pretty much, we're going to make a long box, and I'm going to make mine this long, which is probably around, do I have my little... Yeah, let me see, when you cut these down, what did we cut it down to? 8. It's probably just a tad, like 16.5 inches long. So it's going to be 16 inches, and it's only going to be as wide as 3 of these across. And we're going to put these on each end, and then we're going to connect our dowel. And it's kind of going to look like an old-timey... maybe toolbox, or utility box, something like that. But I'm actually going to put this one and kind of use it like you would a dough bowl. You could put, artificial flowers in it. You can put a raffia in the bottom and put eggs, the carrots we've been making. It really, you can put anything in it. Sin, Chris would have cut that out. Chris, no, I was not letting him cut out, but he did cut these holes for me because I needed them a 1/2 inch. And most of your drill bits are fit, but when you go buy a dowel, even if you use cardboard to do these, if you use foam poster board and you go and buy this, on your dowels, I usually buy mine at Walmart because it's really the only local craft store we have besides the Dollar Tree. And it will tell you on the sticker what the diameter of them is. And the one I picked up was a 1/2 inch, not too big. I really am not going to pick this up by the handle, but I wanted it to look, I didn't want to put like a paint, what do you call them? No. But hey, can you get the words beside this on here? But I wanted this to be as thick as maybe, so it would look better. I think if I use something too small, like a skewer, it just wouldn't look right. It would be too thin for this. So kind of, just gauge, because they have all kind of size, but you need to find the size and then find your drill bit the same size as your hole. But if you're using foam board or poster board, you can just cut it. You probably just want to stick this on your on your cardboard like this, draw a circle, and then you're going to have to cut it out really careful to keep that circle shape with like an X-Acto knife, or if you use styrofoam, you can melt the hole with your styrofoam cutter will melt a good hole. So if I'm not making any sense, I'm going to start putting this together, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to be more decorative than useful, but there's some things I can show you to do if you really wanted to be able to pick it up and use it as kind of a utility thing. What now? See, I couldn't get it off on the side. I did that just exit out of it and come back in. It'll be fine. Okay. So what I did when I cut the ends off, I kept the ends. So instead of like cutting up little paint sticks to help me glue this together, I'm just going to use these ends instead of throwing them away, because they're the side that has the little curve in it, and there's really nothing I could think I would do with them, except if you needed like bunny ears for something, maybe you could sand them out a little bit. All right, and we're going to get started. We don't need the bunny part yet. We don't need this part or the dowel. So I must move that over here. But, oh, I wanted to show you real quick before we start. I took your advice, and I got her to make me some new napkin rings that I can put the napkin in the bottom, and that way be able to see the heart. So I've got to paint them the agave color and distress them a little bit, but I'm going to exchange these out for the ones I had on my table. And I love going to see her because, look at this. I'm always like, can I have the little scratch pieces that come, you know, when she cut it out? She always gives me the scrap pieces. So I've got, you know, 8 of these little hearts. And I have the circles that came in the bottom. Don't know what I do with them yet, but if you ever get these cut out or whatever, maybe you can ask your person for their scraps, because she gives me a lot of her scraps. Thank you. Which is awesome. Okay. Woohoo, love them. Thank you so much. Oh, I love it. Yes, so I kind of wanted them to be, Chris, will you hand me a napkin off that table, please? She had already cut them before I got there, because my idea was, thank you, was to, no, it's fine, was for her, because she still had these saved in her computer. This is what we did the first time, is to actually take this and do it a little bit on its side, so I could keep the little curve and do the ring. But she had already cut them for me, and I still love them, and they'll still be, but you'll notice, you know, I started thinking, oh, I could just glue it to the front. I'd have like double hearts, but I'll see, just because I really don't know what I'll do with this. I'll probably save them till next year, and I could do something in my Valentine's crafts, or I may put them on the front after I paint them. Maybe it kind of looks weird now with 2 of them together because they're different colors. But maybe when I get them the same color, it'll look good on top of each other. Thank you so much. Really dug out from the storm. Oh my gosh, probably use in Christmas crafts for the balls. Yes, and I have a ton of these. Like every time I go out there, she hands me like a sack of like little circles. I mean, she handed me like a ton today, which would be really cute if we had something, instead of drawing polka dots, I could actually put them on there and paint them. There'll be a little dimensional on there. I don't know, I need to find something, because I really do have like a sack of them like that. And I tell her all the time, I was like, you know, I've still not found anything to do with those, but I'm going to. All right, let me get this off of the names. Shower curtain hooks. Yes, shower curtain hooks. That's what at first I was going to do. If it ever got to where like closer to, and I couldn't get in touch with her or something come up, that's what I was going to get. It's just, you think a shower curtain ring, like the bottom here, you know, and just paint it. You know, even if it's plastic, the chalk paint will stick to the plastic. And I could have just glued it right on the top like that. And once it's the same color, you know, that's really what's going to be around your napkin, and it won't show up as much. So that's really what I was, because these are really light. Hot glue would have worked just fine on the top of it. But she was so sweet to have already had them cut out when I got there. I was like, oh my God, I love them. I'll have to show y'all. And I don't know what bingo clips are, but if it's something circle, yes, it would definitely work. Use the tiny balls for trim on your candlestick bases. You're awesome. I could do like little candlesticks. I have these hearts. I was like, I love them because they almost look like hand-drawn hearts. They're just really, really cute. All right. So if you're in Waynesboro and you want some of those, I don't think she'd charge you but like $1 or so. If you're out of town, I would probably have to look at what it would cost to ship them to you. They're not fragile, but you would probably definitely need to put something on them that the post office couldn't crack them. But before, I have broken things before I got home, and this glue, it really glues back together and works just fine. It's like the glue gets, you know, absorbs really well, and you can't hardly even tell. So I have broken stuff. Use the tiny balls for trim on your candlesticks. Okay. what we're gonna do first is our base is gonna be 3 of these. Now I don't have to do them different levels. Let me see if I can put this down so you can see better. Look at this thing trying to turn like it used to. Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna do 3 down together. And like I told you, I kept my little scrap pieces because I'm just going to, and they fit exactly for 3 of them. So I'm gonna put them, and this one's kind of bent a little bit, or warped a little bit, so let me kind of turn it down, and I don't think I'll have that problem. Let's see if I put it on the end. I didn't know I picked up one that's a little warped. Okay, it's better on the end. Okay, just like this. You can space them out if you want to and make it look more like a crate. It's fine. But I'm already using the big ones, and so I kind of just like this size. So we're going to take, and I got out my E6000 because something I really want it to stay together in case I move it around a lot. I don't want it, and it's going to have some weight to it once I get 2 sides on it and an end. So this is going to be my backup, but it still will take 24 hours for this to really harden really good. So I'm going to put this and hot glue so that way we can go ahead and work with it now. Thank you, Sharon, for sprinkling hearts hanging behind you, Rat and Jute. Did you make them? Yes, ma'am, Stephanie. You go back maybe around 4 weeks in my post, and it should say beside each post, like 1 week, 2 weeks ago. Go back about 4 weeks, and I believe it's labeled Jute Hearts. Let me know if you can't find it, but I've told a couple people that, and they've never told me they couldn't find it. So I think you can go back now around 4 weeks, and you should see it. Okay, let's see. I'm going to open this, and I don't think I've even opened this. No, I have not. And I'm going to get my glue. And normally I would tell you to only put about 2 of these. But I'm trying to think maybe on the bottom one we'll put 3 just to make sure we've got like a good strong base. Okay. So I'm just going to do some glue. And I'm going to do my E6000. Like I said, the hot glue is just kind of going to be like a temporary hold. And I think it probably will hold it. But this right here, once this E6000 cures, I won't be able to pull it apart. There we go. We're going to hold them down real good and make sure. I watch a lot of videos before I found it. Oh gosh, Teresa, I'm sorry. But it's the only one that should be labeled Jute Hearts. When it starts off, it will be the little tiny heart, and I put a gingham background to it. We start off making that garland with the gingham in it, and then we make this. So if it starts off and it doesn't look like it starts with this little heart, it is the right video. It's just we started doing a smaller one too. All right, let me put some glue on here. Put some E6000 on here. And we're going to hold this down pretty good. Hey, how are you, Jill? I am doing well. It was another beautiful day in Georgia. It was extremely cold, which I loved, but it was beautiful outside. I feel like we're fixing to get some maybe nasty weather this weekend as far as rain and cold, but luckily this week it's just been beautiful and cold, which, you know, I love the cold. So, okay, this is kind of coming off out of it. So I'm squeezing it, okay, and I'm gonna put this 3. Like I said, when we get to the side, I probably only put 2, but you're gonna do 3 sides. The bottom and 2 sides, you're gonna do all 3 of them just like this, no matter what you use. You can use regular paint sticks, and you're just gonna put, I would like alternate the little openings, the little stir handle part, and you would do 3 same way. You can use your Jenga blocks, or you could cut one of these. They cut with industrial scissors really well, and you're just going to do that. If you do a piece of foam board, you know, you're just going to cut your 3 sides. You just want to make sure you have 3 sides that are exactly the same width, length, everything through 3. So let's make our second one. Howdy. Hey, Martha. Hey, good evening. Hey, Wanda. All right, thank you for sprinkling, Dolores. All right, so we got our next 3 together. And you see how I'm kind of just trying to put ones in case they're bent a little bit. I reckon there's something in the middle of my... Y'all, I think there's something under my paper, and I keep thinking it's the... Let's see if that's what keeps doing it. Look, it was like the tiniest little piece of foam. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm crazy. Lord, bless your heart. Come out and see us. Bless my craft tonight, please. We already getting to a rocky start. The smallest little crumb under my paper was making me think my sticks were warped, which is crazy. And this E6000 will hold porcelain together. If you ever have like a plate break, it's really good on just about any material. I don't think I've ever tried it on concrete, but I have tried Gorilla Glue on concrete, like little statues out in the yard, and it works really well. The only reason why I would not suggest to use like Gorilla Glue on something like this is it expands. So it's going to come out all of the sides. Sometimes it could make this expand up and it wouldn't lay flat. And you really don't want that. Okay, I think we're just going to do each end. Let's see how sturdy it feels after we do each end. And if not, we've got the ends for all 9 that I cut. Hey, good evening. Hey, Wanda. Like Harriet, yes, I'm needing. Bless your heart. I had to say bless your heart to somebody today, just today. And every time I say it, that's all I can think is I have explained why Southern people say that now. All right, well, let's just put one in the center. Now I'm just starting to second guess myself about sturdiness. So, all right, let me use up what's coming off. But if you don't have the little ends like that, just cut up another one of your paint sticks. But if you use foam board or cardboard, like any kind of shipping cardboard that you have, you're just gonna make this square. You're not gonna, you don't wanna make cardboard straps and put them together. Just make it square. So there we go, it's just kind of one side. Let's see, what are you making? Jill, we are making I would say kind of a decorative utility box. Like an old-timey toolbox that has like the handle on it, except the end of ours is going to be bunny rabbits. Or the outline of a bunny rabbit. And then we're gonna make a very small version with things that you can get from the Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby. First, you want to start off with whatever materials, whatever lengths you want to make. That's the easiest thing, is no matter what length you do, you really don't even have to have it measured out. Just put whatever you're doing on top of each other and measure. Like Chris and I, sometimes if we don't know the exact measure, we just hold it together and you cut it all at once. No matter what length it is, they're all three, the sides, the bottom and the 2 sides are the same length. Because sometimes I just like to eyeball how long I want something by whatever I'm going to put it on, especially if I know exactly where I'm going to put it. Like the box I made on my kitchen table, that I just measured the length of the table, like how I wanted it to sit and not run into the plates. I think it came out to be maybe like 57 inches long. I use small staples to hold mine together. Yes, you can, especially if you're using that pressed cardboard or what is that board called, y'all, that I like to use? It's not bric-a-brac, it's something like crazy. What is that stuff called? All right, last one. I'm trying to think of what it's called while we're sitting here. It's kind of what pegboard is without the peg holes in it. And I forget what it's called. You can staple into it really easy. I mean, if you use big pieces of wood, if you're really into wood making, you put them together with screws. Or, use your little penny nail gun. Like, I love it when it makes that little sound. Okay, so now we're gonna put them together like so. And we're gonna use our Jenga blocks to do it. All right. Probably making sure I don't need that. Okay. I've got some already open, but I wanted to let you know too, you have this option at your Dollar Tree too, is the little blocks. They're almost like a Jenga block, a little bit thicker, but they're squares. And they're probably about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch by 3/4, a perfect little square. Those would work too, depending on how heavy your project is. I'm going to use these little bigger Jenga blocks just because, this is just going to be a little bit bigger. And it doesn't have to be perfect. When you see crates that you can buy that have like the holes that you can see in the side of them, they just staple that stuff together. It's not the best in the world. It's not perfectly square. They usually use old pieces of pallet board to put them together. They're normally really rough. So let's I'm going to use these. I cannot stand these ones that are already colored, but it's for some reason they don't paint as well too. So if you can pick up the Jenga blocks that do not have this coloring, and the new big boxes, I don't know if they come that way, but I haven't seen them with the that in. All right, so we're going to, let's see if we can just put it on top of here. Looks like we can. Oops, let me put some more glue in here. Okay, and I put so much glue on it worrying I've got to get that little excess off so it'll lay flat. All right, so see, I'm just putting a Jenga block flat so it'll have room to hold on to the side. And I'm just gonna do that on top of the little areas that I did the paint sticks to hold them together. And you don't have to do them in this area. You could actually do it all the way down if you wanted it to, right there. Do one more down here. Your numbers are going up since I first started watching you. I know, isn't that wonderful? I wish everybody, I have a lot of people that comment and watch the replays and stuff, but I know how it is. I mean, it's rare I get to catch anybody live too. With me doing it this time of the night, I think that's when a lot of people do it at night, so I really don't get to catch as many lives. Okay, now we're going to do it on the other side the exact same way. Like I said, the more weight you have or the more secure you want it, just add more Jenga blocks. Like you get, even in the small boxes, you get like 30. And I think in these big ones, it's like 72 you get for $1. So this is going to be the inside. Like you'll be able to cover the inside up with like, you can line it with burlap. You can line it with raffia. So you're not going to see this part. So really making it how secure you want it, you won't see it. Where's my little extra one I was using? I'm trying to make these as flush against here, and that one I don't think I made as flush as I wanted to. That one's flush. That one, I don't think I did that one as flush. I watch you all the time. Doesn't matter who comes on. I love your personality. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. That is so sweet. think I made that one as flush, y'all. So I think I'm just gonna put an extra one. Y'all don't have to do this, but I think I didn't make this one as flush as I wanted to. Like I wanted to make sure it grabs it. It needs to poke out just a little bit. All right, there we go. You make sure that, love your glue gun you're using. Where did you get it? Oh my gosh, this is my best friend. I got this off of Amazon, but Chris says I'm saying Ryobi is, I'm saying it incorrect because I say Ryobi all the time, and he told me the other day that was not right. You can actually buy it on Amazon for $29 and something. You just get this part, just the glue gun, not the battery. For like $29 and change, or you can go into Home Depot. Don't go to Lowe's because Home Depot bought this brand. So they're the only ones that carry it when it comes to large tool places. And you can buy the gun for the same thing, like $20 and something, but buy 2 batteries. That's the trick, is buy 2 batteries, because when you're in the middle of, and this size battery, says 2.5 AH on it. Don't know what that kind of means. 18 volt. It lasts me about an hour and a half, but you don't want to stop, especially with me sitting here running my mouth. Sometimes it'll go off, and it's easier for me just to keep going. So you really do need to get 2 batteries. But it's a good little gift. Tell your husband that's what you want for Valentine's Day. Want you all the time. I call it that too. Yeah, he was like, that's not how you pronounce it. He said something, not right. Ryobi is what I say. Roby. I don't know. He said I said it incorrect. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay. So what we're going to do, same thing. And we're going to have to push it up here. Okay. That's touching. That's touching. It looks like I didn't do this one far enough over either. I wasn't paying attention running my mouth, because your little bead thing or Jenga block has got to go up to the edge of the board on the bottom. And I did it to the edge of the stick. There we go. Let me see if I did it on this side. That one's touching, that one's touching. The one in the middle might need some backup. So I'm gonna use one more, y'all. So don't talk while you're doing this. When you put it down, see, I made it level with this stick, and I needed to make it level with the edge, because that's what it's gonna press up. You probably can put a ton of glue. I just want it to be really sturdy, so when I hold it up and show you, it doesn't fall apart. You know, bless our heart's gonna take care of us, we hope. But you know, sometimes she can be temperamental now. Okay, so this one's all touching. This one's all touching, so we'll do one at a time. Okay. All right, so once we get these together, these are the 3 sides that you need. And check out all those blocks. And then we'll get our bunnies. And I told you I can have all these templates for you. But this is a pretty big size, so I can do a template for this. You're just gonna need like the 17 by 11 piece of paper, which is called ledger. Not legal, but ledger. And we're gonna put this on each end, just like this. All right, so let's put these together. This is trying to act a little warped, but we'll get it. Okay. So let's do, I'm gonna have to face this away just because I'm gonna have to make sure I get all 3 of them at the same time. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just gonna glue them together, just like that. Hey friends, hey Vicky. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's put our glue all over here. And our E6000. Gotta make sure I got it on this end good, in the center. Okay. And I cut all the boards the same, so I know it's gonna be all the same on both ends. Okay, I'm just gonna let my glue harden up real fast or cool off so it'll harden. With your craft sessions on Facebook have been such a blessing through these lockdowns. Oh, thank you so much. I had somebody the other day that I sent stuff to, and I hope y'all are getting your stuff. You know how the mail is. I get stuff all the time that'll have like January the 2nd or 3rd or something on it. It's crazy. And then, y'all be so surprised, I got me a new little heat gun that I'm hoping won't melt anything. I got it in a day and a half. It was prime, and I don't think I've gotten anything prime in a day and a half and forever. So maybe they're finally just catching up with Christmas. Hey, Cynthia, with your craft session on Facebook. Hey, friends. Yes, I'm so glad. Because that's when I first started, you know, when everything first shut down and everybody was gone, or, you know, home. And like, what, April? The first time I was like, you know, I watch these videos all the time, and it would just be whatever would pop up, just anything. And I was like, you know, I wonder if they have any like cute crafts. It was Easter time. And that's when I found a couple of people that I still watch now. They don't really kind of do the crafts that I like to do, but I do like to watch because I have gotten some ideas from other things people do and change it up a little bit. All right, so here, there's one half of our box. Like I said, in here, you're going to have this whole open thing where you can put flowers in it. You can put raffia. You can put anything you could put in a box. You'll be able to put in here. Okay, now this one we need to do the side just like this. And see, we're just going to glue the other side on. So like I said, if you think you need to do Jenga blocks all the way down to do some, makes it secure. Because see, I don't think glue is strong enough to hold something that's is slightly warping just a little bit. And I don't know, let me see if it's the top. Maybe it's that top piece. Oh, the bottom seems worse. Okay. So we're just going to have to hold this one a little bit longer. I hope it doesn't pop out. If it does, I can get Chris to shoot a little nail or something in here for me. Or we can use some more Jenga blocks. Okay, so same thing on the other side. I'm going to put glue. A lot on here, here, here. Let's put some E6000 on here to help it out when it hardens. And we are going to do the same thing we did over here. We're going to hold it until it hardens. Make sure it's level on each end because you want your bunnies to be level on each end. Hello from Wisconsin. 5 to 9 inches of snow for us tomorrow. Yuck. Then bitter cold, single digits, and wind chills minus 35. That might even be a little cold for me. Are they 5-gallon paint sticks? Yes, Cynthia, they are. But what I was saying earlier is you can use regular paint sticks. Is Chris sanding? I hear it in the background. He asked me if I thought y'all could hear that. Y'all, he's making me a dough bowl. We have a piece of driftwood that was in the pond. I didn't realize y'all could hear it. He came in and said, can you hear this? Does it bother you? And I was like, it's not bothering me. I told you I can tune anything out. So I'll tell him to stop. Hello, Diane from Tennessee. Sherry, you got good hearing. Or maybe my microphone just picks up a lot of stuff. All right, that warp, it seems to be holding, but I'm going to give it a few more seconds. Yes, Sherry, he did. He was like, is this bothering you? Can you hear it? And I was like, no, it's not bothering me at all. I thought for sure y'all couldn't hear it. But yes, he went to a friend's today. I told you he's been playing with his little Dremel saw thing and all these attachments he's got. So he took the piece of drift log and he got his friend to cut it with his, what do you call, chainsaw, like a fourth of it. Because it's only about that long, but it's I guess where beaver got it on each end, it's rounded. So he was going to make me a dough bowl. So he's outside, like, you know, grinding the stuff out. Noise is okay, not bothering us. All right. Boy, well, that E6000 will burn your skin now if you get it on your arm. Let him make that bowl. Lucky you. Thank you. He's so excited about it. And I like it because it's small. You know, the one I have is like really skinny and long. So I was like, you know, bored. He's retired. I think he's just kind of trying to find his niche. And evidently cutting out things for me was not one of them. But listen, y'all told me y'all wanted me to cut you. I'll do a little, I'll take it to work tomorrow and draw it out for you and send me an inbox that you want me to send it in your email address, and I'll email the little template to you for those who like the primitive rabbits. It's fine. Let him make your bowl. It's not too loud. Okay, good. All right, so here we are. We got our bowl. You know, here's the bottom and both sides. And I mean, you could put an end on here. You could do the same thing. You'll just have to measure how tall they are, and you just take your neck sticks, put them together, and you would just glue it to the end just like that. But instead of just going ahead and making a box and then put some, it would just be a waste for me to put them on the end, because what we're gonna do is put our rabbits down here. All right, let's see. I'm gonna get this to be on the outside. So this is gonna be our end, and we'll put another one on this end. So our box, I'm hoping you can see, I do it at an angle, will be like so. Let me move my gun out the way. It'll be just like this. And like I said, mine's a little bit bigger, but we can scale it down to whatever really you need it. And I can actually send I don't know if I can send a document where you can resize it. But like I said, all you need is access to a copier, or if you have Google. What I did was I found a bunny outline that was just like this, and he was rounded at the bottom. I put it on my Word document, and I just clicked on the picture, and instead of downsizing, I actually did crop, and I just cropped it flat. So when you looked at it, it was just like this, because you want it to be flat. So when you cut your template out, no matter if you cut it on foam board, you know, or if you give it to anybody else, they're going to be the same size. But I think we did these around 18 inches tall. But we can downsize it because I just liked it a little bit bigger for where I would have it. And you would notice what it is, especially if I put it on my table. All right. So let me get some of this out the way. Because what we're going to do on each end is we're going to do the same thing we did on the sides. Except we'll put the glue right here. And this stuff is pretty thin and not too heavy. So we can put it straight on here. But I am going to put one Jenga block down here just to give the bottom something. Because the sides I think will grab just fine. And I don't want to put so much glue on the bottom that it will make it uneven on the bottom. So I'm just going to take this one Jenga block. And make sure before that you put it on the edge. So it doesn't, so it'll line up with your bunny. If you need to put two, if you need to stack them up and put a little bit on your edge, you still got a lot of compartment in here to put, you know, artificial arrangements in it, whatever you want to do. But we here at Sims Crafted Bin love Jenga blocks. They will hold anything together. Do you sleep at night high in God's green pastures? Do you come up with all these ideas? No, I saw it. I'll tell you how I really saw this somewhere. And it was like $85 to buy it. And I'll show you what I found. Because it's really cute too. It's a suggestion I'm going to give you at the end. Because that's kind of how it started off. Where you could buy it. And I was like, you know how I made that box on my table? I thought it would be really good to make something I could make. I mean, this would be really cute because see how narrow it is? Really pretty on a windowsill. You know, little arrangements out on your front porch. When you do farmhouse decor, oh my gosh, you can do it anywhere. Especially on your porch. If you have rocking chairs out there, put your little table out there and you could put all kind of like little rustic, primitive woodworking stuff out there. Okay, so see, we've got pretty much a bigger space. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put it on the bottom edge, but this edge right here and up the side, I'm going to put my glue. That way you don't have to put it on this bottom ledge that could maybe get on your surface and, you know, then you glue it down and you wouldn't want that. Okay. So now remember, before you do this, you know, I just figured out how long I want it. And I actually want this to poke out just because the old-timey things, they actually poke out on the end. You could make it the exact same size, or if you didn't try to pick it up with this, you could really just glue it flat to it and just make it decorative. You don't have to make it where you could actually pick it up. But I just kind of, if you think about the old toolboxes, the dowel actually came through the end for you to pick it up. So remember when you go by your dowel to look on what the diameter of the circle is, and it'll tell you on your tags. And then you just, you know, do a bit in. But like I said, if you do cardboard or foam board, you can just cut that out with an X-Acto knife. And you can still use a wooden skewer or something, even if you use a foam board. My husband used to make bunny baskets similar years ago. That's what I was going to tell you. I saw a bunny basket is where I saw this. But I thought, why can't you have two on each end? Okay, so we're going to do like this. And y'all, I'm kind of going to eyeball it as much as I can. I can get the rest of these Jenga blocks out the way since I think we're used all we're going to use. And if we need any backups, we can always use them. Like we can glue that down at the side, and we can put a couple of Jenga blocks in here. Hold on, let me turn it to the side so you see it. We can put a couple of Jenga blocks in here on the side to hold the side of here, the bunny, to the side. But I don't think we'll have to do that. Because I mean, it feels really pretty solid. And you saw we just used hot glue. And I think maybe putting this little brace on, doing 3 braces because it's kind of long, is probably what's going to help it the best. Makes it feel sturdy. Okay, I'm going to eyeball it. What's the center? And I know that my little hole up here is the center, so I'm just going to put that in. And that's important because I want my dowel to go straight across it. So I'm just going to look at that hole and what's the center. And then we are going to pull that straight on here and let that dry. I'm kind of holding it on, pushing it on my chest and just holding the end. I'm gonna let that dry. Is Chris working on getting his channel up yet? Oh my gosh, he was so serious. I always read him some of y'all's comments, you know, because I love to go back and just kind of glance over them in case somebody asked a question and they thought maybe I just ignored them. And so I was going through Sin's Crafting to see if y'all had any new posts up so I could see some of your crafts. And I saw it and I died laughing, and he was like, "What you laughing at?" And I said, they're just talking about how your rabbit was primitive and they like primitive decorations, so they really want me to make a template out of it for them because you did such a good job. And see, he's like, "See, I'm gonna start my own channel. My stuff's good." It was so cute because he was dead serious too, not about starting his own channel, but he was like, "See, my bunny was okay." I'm like, he meant to make it that way, and I'm like, you know, you didn't mean to make it that way. My husband used to make bunnies. Oh, I love that. All right, so, and I really could have went through all the trouble of painting it, but I really don't want to paint the inside because really what I thought was, you know how I don't like you to see my little, I wouldn't call it mess ups, but you know, like these Jenga blocks might not be the prettiest thing in here. I really think I may just like get a little piece of burlap, don't worry about the ends, just a little fold up square piece and glue it down the side and just let it go in there. That way it cleans it up. You don't see your Jenga blocks, you know, and that's all you have to do is just glue it right down either side. So that's why I thought I'm just going to probably paint the outside and the bunny, and I'm going to make it just white with a little bit of distress on it so it's really farmhouse. So that's why I didn't paint it all beforehand. It'd probably be harder with it already done, me painting it, but we'll live with it. All right, so I'm going to take, do I have any more Jenga blocks that aren't that ugly color? Because I despise that color. I don't know why, it doesn't paint. I mean, you can paint it, but you have to put a couple of coats on it, and I don't like that. That's why I like the new ones. But I used all my new big boxes on my ribbon racks. I've got about 5 of these little ones like this. But I need to go get me some of those big ones. Looking good. Thank you, Judy. That will be beautiful. Yeah, I think it'll be extremely cute. And really, I mean, y'all, these ideas, like, if you wanted to put a heart on either end, I don't know, you'd have to like cut it flat on it, but this is the kind of project that you could do anything on the end. The bunnies make it extremely cute, but 4th of July, you can put like 2 square flags on either end, would be really cute. All right, let me, whoops, hold on. All right, and I'm putting them towards the bottom. Okay, so it needs to be here and here. And I'm gonna show you what I just did. As you see, I didn't even put any E6000 on it. I just, this raw wood really kind of absorbs the glue really good. It gets in the pores of the wood, so it really holds up well. And it's not heavy, it's real like thin little Luan wood, so. Okay, so what I just did, I just put 2 Jenga blocks right on either side to hold the bunny face and the side. And I did just one over here on this side, just to give it a little bit more stability. I mean, on the bottom, I could see it harden up and it was holding it really well, but now we just have like a little bit more sturdiness on it. Small little pots of fake tulips. Yes, I mean, you probably could line this with plastic, put some rocks or what did y'all call that perlite stuff? I'm having to learn all about inside plants because I really want to grow them. And put some real little flowers. I mean, you just need to put some kind of plastic in here that'll protect the wood, because after it gets wet for a while, it wouldn't do it immediately, but it would like start to rot and come loose. And this stuff right here, you know, it's just kind of that Luan is like glued layers together. It would start to separate. Okay, so we're just going to do the exact same thing on the other end. I'm going to kind of, this time I have to look through the bunny's ears. I'm going to have to eyeball where his, and we'll stick our little dowel in there to make sure, oops, that we have the right, not going through as well as it went through this one. Okay. So about right there. Okay. Well, that's not gonna work because I have to take this off. I don't have to, but I think I am because it looked like it was going on there even if it was off just a tad. Okay, so we're gonna center that on the inside. Get our glue ready. And pull it flush. All right, so let's let that harden up for just a second. I'll read your comments. You could put Easter grass. Yeah, I mean, like, sky's the limit when you have like a little container. Like I said, I made it thin enough where you could put it on a windowsill. But see how mine are coming out a little bit right here? I mean, you could make it probably a whole nother paint stick wide, and it still would, just as long as I don't think you went on the outside of this, you would be okay. You could make it a little bit wider. You could make it smaller because, you know, these bunnies, you know, any size, especially cardboard and all that, you could make it any size. You could, I'll show you, I actually got her to make me 4 of these bunnies because I'm thinking about making a long one for my table. Because when we made the box for my Valentine's table, we used 8-foot boards and I only needed them 57 inches long. So I had excess left. So I brought them out here to show you. We cut 3 of them this length. And so it might not be as long as my other board, other box on my table, but I'm gonna make another exact same box with the just what was left. It'll just be a lot shorter. You can do one with sunflower ends. I know, any kind of end. Just as long as you can get something flat on each end that'll sit straight. You can do stars. You can do you know, you could do a pot with like an arrangement coming up on the top. You know, you see some of those pots with like a hydrangea at the top of it. But yes, you could do, or you could actually just make a standard square and put any kind of decoration you want on each end. Okay, I'm gonna put a couple of Jenga blocks on that end like we did, and all we have to do is put our little dowel in. And besides painting it and decorating it, we will be done. But I'm not gonna make you, we're gonna make something else cute and small. And let me put this on it before it goes everywhere. I like doing E6000, but I think it's because it's this metal tube, it keeps coming out because I usually squish it too hard. Okay. I feel like this bunny is covering me up, but you don't need to see me. All right, so I'm gonna do it on this side and the back. Ow. And then burn your finger. Not too bad tonight though. Okay. See if I can get my... All right, just wait till that hardens up a little bit more because I put a lot on it. Teacup on each end would look good for a coffee corner. I mean, I'm telling you, please, if somebody makes this and you make something like that coffee, you come, please take pictures of it. And I don't, if you don't want it to be on there, at least inbox me so I can see it. Green and fabric covered eggs. I know, and I know you like the primitive stuff, so I can send that little primitive, Chris's primitive rabbit to each end. Let's see. We can see if his primitive rabbit's over here. He's not very far. So see, you can put his little rabbit on the end. Let's see, not that side. You can see better on this side. There you go. You know, and you still have the area to put that. And listen, I'm going to put the dowel in the center of it like it's a utility, but I mean, this right here is extremely, I mean, okay, that's hard, and it's got a little bit more, it's slightly still a little clear. But this right here, to me, is just as cute. I mean, if you put spaces in between right here and did it a little bit taller, still, I think would be extremely cute. Even if you bought, if you go into Walmart, I'm sure other places have it, but I'm only familiar with Walmart. They have those crates that are already made, and they do make a small one. You can buy a crate. I think the big ones are maybe like $11 or $12, and the smaller ones are like $9. You can buy the crate and put your own ends and change the ends out with each holiday. Yes, I think Lynn and I are the primitive girls. Yeah, I do like it. I loved your carrots and the eggs that y'all shared. I think I do like primitive stuff. I don't know if that bunny might be a little too primitive for me, but I do love the extremely like dirty, almost rusty fabric. I love that too. I just might not like his particular rabbit. But see, I'm going to put this on here. And it can be, let's see if it's going to give me trouble going in, because I don't think I could go all the way through it. That would be a waste of time. There we go. Be really careful because I want it to kind of hang out on the end. I think that's really cute. Like to have it come out, the little knots come out. So see, technically I can pick it up like this. This is like what I'm saying, an old-timey tool belt. I mean, you could put this beside your couch as a magazine rack. But see, y'all know how I am. I don't like the way, if you could ever see down in there. So what I think I'm gonna do is just cut a piece of burlap that is this width and probably just measuring whatever 3, 3, and 3 is, and just glue it here and just drape it in there. That way it'll clean up, just, you know, if you ever look on the inside, or if you ever just want to set it there and not put anything in it, it'll clean kind of your stability up a little bit. But he's back to grinding out there. Okay, so y'all see, little time consuming, figure out what length you want, but foam board, you know how I love, we made the collars for our trees for Christmas with cardboard. Cardboard would work fine for this because like I said, once you paint it, distress it, you know, you can even make the side, you know, with, you know, have the little borders around it, just like we did our tree skirts or tree collars, whatever you wanted to call them. And once you paint it, you know, and make it, you can make it look like wood. So if you have like a good piece of cardboard, those moving boxes you can buy in Walmart for like, I think they're only like 60 cents for the large ones. Then you can make them as big as you want it. And I'll say too, if you make it out of foam board, you know, you don't have to really worry about storing it. Like I'm gonna have to worry about where am I gonna store this? You can kind of really just either break it down or throw it away because this probably wouldn't be one, maybe 1.5 foam boards like you could get from, you know, any school supply place. So then you don't feel so bad if you want to just throw it away and make you another one next year, or you don't have to worry about storing it. All right, let me try to get some of this stuff up. All right, so we're gonna make a smaller one now since we did really good on time, y'all. That only took us an hour. Most of the time I was running my mouth. So another thing I'm gonna show you too is if you made this on a smaller scale, made a flat back on the back and just did your bunny smaller and put your hole down here, it could be an Easter basket for your kids. That's what I saw. It just had one bunny on each end and the back was flat and the pole was a little bit lower right here, and it was used for a kid's Easter basket. I don't know if they actually used it or if it's just supposed to look. It was like $85. I was like, oh, it's just super cute. But I mean, it wasn't even painted any super duper color either. And this one, you know, you could put, like I told you earlier, like with our hearts, if you have like any of the little wood, you know, you could put a little bow on each side. You could wrap jute around it. You know, paint here, give it a little, you know, blush. I mean, I'm not going to paint a face or anything on mine. I'm just going to paint it white and distress it with a little bit of my chocolate, you know, antiquing on it. Pretty much like some of the stuff up there. But yes, picket fence. I mean, you're just, anything that'll be a stick, you can make this with. All right. So the small thing, we're gonna do the same thing, but on a smaller scale. You know the little boxes that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and you can get them. They're already like this. They're actually wood. You can stain them, paint them. They are the little flexible wood. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint this one. But we're gonna do like a darker wood on it because somebody shared their shamrock little tier set, and they used brown and green, which was really pretty together. I think you could do white and green with it, but I thought that was really pretty. Butterfly would be pretty, bunny butt on one end. Yeah, bunny butt on one end and the head on the other. Y'all see, y'all are some of the best crafters ever. Thank you for sprinkling it, Priscilla. Oh, that's a pretty name. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is let me pull my paints over here. I don't want to mess my little bunny tray up. But this is the way I got it. And we just put the hole in it. I mean, I told her to make me two because I think I'm going to make one out of the leftover wood I had from my table square that I did the video on where I talked over the video. I was so proud of myself. Okay. So we're going to do... let's see. Let's use this walnut color. And we're going to bring some black in. I really want this to be brown and have a little distress on it. Because then we got our little wooden shamrocks. And we're going to put those on the end. And this is small enough to go on our tier if there's anything we decide to put in it. But... thank you for sprinkling. Thank y'all for sprinkling. All your friends, if you ever say, well, I gotta go home and watch Cynthia, now when you sprinkle it to your friends, they'll know you watching. Having a pattern for a bonnet doll, that would be cute. Yeah, because I mean, you can give it to a kid to store, you know, toys in it or something. And this is that hazelnut I told you I really haven't used yet. But we're going to put this on here. And then we're going to put our antiquing on it to give us more of a brown edge. Ooh, that was a lot of paint. I probably, you know, you don't have to get any more. It's almost like in between a brown and a mustard color. Like a real mustard seed. A Grey Poupon, and I don't like Grey Poupon. And that's weird because I love like mustardy flavored, vinegary stuff, but that's a little too strong for me. I don't think my palate's really worldly. Have a panorama. I'd like to do chickens. I'm a chicken lady. Yeah, a rooster? A rooster would be my thing too, girl. I like chickens and roosters and stuff. I love a pretty rooster that has black in it because I really like to decorate a lot with black. That just has like really pretty colors, bold colors up against that black. So pretty. And yes, roosters and stuff would be really cute. I have to tell Miss Dale if she's not watching on here, she needs to get Mr. Henry to make her one of these. And she can put chickens on it. She's got a real pretty island in the middle of her kitchen. That one of these baskets would be awesome on it all the time. You know, just to throw your trinkets in it when you walk in the kitchen. Okay, yeah, that didn't take very much. All right, let me go. I'm going to go ahead and do the inside just because right now I don't know what I'm going to put on the inside of it. And that didn't take very long to paint. That would be cute to give as a housewarming gift. Small pots of flowers. Yeah, the little terracotta pots. Because, you know, terracotta's kind of an older thing. Oh, with herbs in it. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be awesome? You know, little because I mean, it really is a good little size, and you could actually make it skinnier to go on a windowsill. Chris, they could hear you outside. They were like, what is he doing outside? I was like, well, it doesn't bother me. They said it wasn't bothering them. They could just hear you. Y'all, come over here. I'll get you to show everybody your dough ball. Look at somebody show them. They were asking earlier about, see, this is a piece of driftwood that was in there, and he has just started like carving it out for me. Yeah, and the beavers have put it, are the ones that cut it down. But it's been in the pond, so it's still heavy and wet. But that's going to be so awesome. Yeah, they said, what is Chris out there? Is he like drilling or something? I was like, I didn't think y'all could hear that. Oh, I'm going to love it.
All right. So
they want to know when you're going to start your channel.
That's up to you.
He said that's up to you.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, they're talking about last night when you were like, I'm going to start my own channel.
Oh.
I know. They're like, oh, wow, beautiful. I want one, Chris.
I can do it.
He's got one more piece of wood out there. You know, the beavers, we don't really get that many in our pond often, but if you have the slightest little tree up around our pond, it's like 7 acres, they will cut it down. I mean, I think Big Chris and them had a little probably oak or something that was coming back up after it had been cut down once by beavers in the corner of their side. And it was just getting where it was probably about that thick and, you know, probably as tall as I am. And next thing you know, you went over there and it's like they found it and it's gone. So we do have those come up all the time. After he has drills and sands and does all that, because he is doing it with a little tiny one instead of those big grinders, he'll probably say, this is worth a mint, because, you know, it took him forever. Okay. All right, not too bad of a color. I like it, but I would never like it by itself. I mean, it's probably really close to jute. You can see if you need to hide anything, but I would still want it to kind of look more, you know, like wood. Looks fantastic. That's cool. He did a good job. He sure did. He's proud of himself now. He's been watching videos on YouTube to do different stuff, and he's like, you know, I really like this. Okay. Let's see, and then if we maybe put some, so we get to try out our new dryer thing. But see, oh, and I can still talk. So let's see if it's strong enough to melt my table like the other one did. When I ordered this, he was like, why are you ordering another one? I got you one. I said, because you got me one that was like melting things on my table. It was working so well. Oh, that's pretty good. Y'all, can y'all hear me still? Doesn't seem too loud, and that's actually on 2. See, they got one that's a little bit lower. That is cool. He did a good job. Yes. Love the bowl. I will tell him, Chris, I will pass our soup. I will pass that on to him. Okay. We're going to put some brown in here mainly, and then I'm going to put a little bit of black in there too. Because I want this to stay more kind of a wood color. Now, you don't know why I like to use my fingers. I can control it better, not put too much on here. All right. He's back at it out there. Okay. When he gets you that new saw for Harbor Freight, make sure you use the coupons. Okay. Now, see, I've never bought anything from Harbor Freight. So, you have to have, I mean, they like do coupons. Can you go on their like website, or do you have to like join by email? Because I want that little saw, y'all. Instead of going out to my big miter saw, when I cut these, because see these right here, the smaller paint sticks, I can cut with my industrial scissors. Like they'll cut with just my regular scissors. But the 5-gallon, I would have to sit here and saw on them forever. So, but if I had that little saw next time, I was just gonna say, see, look at me, just, I hope I don't cut my finger off in front of all y'all. Because they are, I mean, everybody that I've seen use them say, you know, they're powerful little suckers. You know, it's not like you're just using some kind of like little doll cutter. It's like really strong. All right, let's put a little bit on the inside, which is not, I'm not going to worry too much about. All right, so we're getting to look more like some wood. I mean, it is wood, but more like stained wood. I can hear Chris working on your bowl. That's really sweet of him. Thank you, Brenda. I know he can be a sweetheart. Now, sometimes I want to choke him down, which I'm sure, you know, he thinks all women are crazy, but he tells all his friends and like young friends he have that aren't married and stuff like that. He goes, you just got to find your kind of crazy. Table saw from Harbor Freight. I like it, but you have to good kind of, hold on, to go kind of slow. Okay. Yes, sin and yeah. Listen, we're supposed to be doing our show, and we can't decide on what gutters we want. If we could decide on that, we would have already done our gutters. We can't do crafting together, but we can surely do. Like the other day when you should see us, we're so funny. When we were making my ribbon shelf, we were high-fiving each other like, we were just, these awesome carpenters, and, we were just like shoot one nail and be like, yeah, we got it. Cause it didn't like go crooked in there. It went perfect. So that's what kind of show. But we want to do it for stuff outside. But we haven't prayed. At first we were like, oh, we found exactly ones we want. And then we had some friends that are building a house that did seamless. And I'm like, do we really want to do seamless? But I think the more we think about it, I don't want to spend more than quadruple the price to do seamless. Because I'm thinking, if my shutters leak in 5 years, I can put up brand new gutters. If they leak, I can put up brand new ones and still come out better than spending the money on seamless ones. Don't get me wrong, you have more colors to choose from when you do seamless. But they're just too expensive. But up north, y'all got some really good people up north that cut the seamless for you, and it's really cheap. You just give them your measurements, and they'll go ahead and cut them and deliver them to you. Well, you don't have anybody in Georgia that does that. If they put the seamless in, they don't cut them for you. You either have to pay them to put them up, and it's just crazy what they want for them. Have a little table saw, Christmas in there. I paid full price, but I don't wait to get my book in the mail. I should have got my get it for. She works at Harbor Freight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if you can become like an email subscriber to them. Okay, there we go. Kind of like what I'm looking for there. There we go. More of like real wood. We'll try the truffle next time. I mean, I like that. It's a little bit more yellow than I'm used to, but it's still a really good color. The hazelnut, I had not picked that one up before. Okay, so we're gonna let this kind of dry to the side, and we're gonna paint our shamrocks. And I actually got my Evergreen, and this was a little bit more shamrock color for Christmas than I liked, so I'm hoping it's gonna be perfect for what I wanted right now. More of that Kelly green, that shamrock green. Hello, I can't win for losing. Fail Saturday, my face looks like I got in a fight and lost. Then I went to doctor yesterday and my shoulder is fractured. Oh my gosh, and you just got over COVID November, Mahela. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's awful. I hope you get better soon. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. That is like not so great luck. Well, at least you're in Alabama. You're not dealing with the snow like everybody else, like hurting and inches and inches of snow. You can put it on your phone and while you're in Harbor Freight and use a coupon. Oh, okay, good. That's kind of what I do when I go to Joann's or Hobby Lobby. I just pull up the coupon on my phone. All right, I'm just painting it. It is. At Christmas, it was a little too kind of bright green, and we may can do a couple of coats if it shines, but it really is looking like a really good shamrock green. Let's go ahead and do the other side. And since you may see a little bit on the back of this, because I'm going to put it up a little high on the end, I'm going to go ahead and paint the back. And we get to use our cute little dryer. Heat gun. All right, all right. He's going to town with that little Dremel thing out there. You still hear? He's still outside. He's so excited. Y'all have made him all excited now too. Hobby Lobby's doing away with their coupon. I heard that. And then I didn't ever really hear it straight from Hobby Lobby. I've heard like rumors. And sometimes places like that will kind of start the rumors themselves, so everybody will go in and buy something thinking, you know, this is the last time I can use it. I hope maybe that's the case, but they may be doing away with it. But, you know, when everything's 50% off, I will admit, I haven't really went in there and bought anything big lately. And you can't use the 50% off and you know, your 40 at the same time. So sometimes I don't get to use the 40 because most of the time I do not buy anything unless it's 50% off. Y'all, hold on, let me get my color back right. There we go. I think it's telling me I'm down to 20% on my phone. All right. Not too much longer. Let's see. They need a senior discount at all craft places. I wouldn't get that, but wish I did. I will one day because I hope I'm like old, like in my, you know, 80s and 90s and I'm still crafting. Now I'll probably make it something that, you know, like your grandkids, some futuristic stuff down the road. And they're like, oh my gosh, Nana, you see what she made us? They want us to hang this in our room. Okay. So let's see. Let's put us a little bit of glue right there. That one, get in line again. Hey, Sin, just coming on. Sorry I'm late for here in North Dakota. Cheryl, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to begin to describe to tell you how we made our little box. You're just going to have to go back from the beginning and watch. But it's really, really, really cute. I'll show it to y'all at the end for somebody who's going to, okay. So here's our little end. See, I really like the brown against it, y'all. I think white would be extremely cute. But if you really just don't want all those bright colors, you know, you can put them on either side, but I just kind of thought we're doing the ends on our bunny, so we'll just do the same on here. So let's just, you could actually put a little glitter on here. Nothing like a little rustic with a little glitter. And I've only done one coat on it. I think it's good. And this is Dixie Belle Evergreen. I had it for Christmas because I really wanted a true green, and some of the things we did, it was just, it really looked a little shamrock. I had to add a little bit of brown or black to it to give me that deeper, you know, green for Christmas. But I was hoping it would work really well. And I mean, I guess you could put it another coat on it if you wanted it a little bit deeper. Add just a little bit of the brown or black to it. It'll give you a little deeper, more primitive green for those who like that primitive stuff, which I do too. But this will be really cute for our shamrock tray, because that's the only thing that I'm going to do is really smaller things for St. Patrick's Day. But you could always, for those who had, remember they told me they had a birthday on St. Patrick's Day, you could put a shamrock on the end of your little box like we made tonight. All right, let me get the little sides. It's not dark on these sides. Okay. Boy, he is going to town out there with that Dremel. Oh, I got a piece of probably cat hair on it. But I really like this green against this, just like the red, y'all. Like I said, if you don't want all those bright colors, I really like the brown jute color. You can wind jute all the way around here, you know, do a little jute bow with it. Maybe we'll do that. I really think it's turned out really cute. So see, then we got a little box. You can see my fingerprints where I was touching it. It's not quite dry yet. That side is. Let's dry it up a little bit. Heck, I'm 70 and been crafting over 60 years. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I don't use glitter in my primitive crafts, but I always sprinkle some in my kids' cards. They open them over the trash now. That would be my look. My kids would start doing that because they know what I think about glitter. Y'all, I'm liking this little, feels like it gets pretty hot though. Like I could, you know, melt another one of those little trays if I broke down and got those mats. Okay. Oops. It looks like I need to clean or put Vaseline on this one. See, it's these. The Waverly doesn't do it that bad to me, but those do. Okay. All right. So we got our little jute string over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about, wrapping jute around it. I was sitting here thinking, remember the square letters that we did, or the big square pieces that you get from Dollar Tree? And I told you could put like 17 on it. If you put like a little something in the bottom here, you could put those blocks on top of it that say 17. I could set my little gnome on here that we made, because that's the only two things we've made for St. Patrick's Day. I'm trying to think how cute this is. Let's see. You know, sometimes you're just watching somebody and they'll just wrap a couple of things around it, and that's like, you know, it's like so cute. We'll see what it looks like. Kind of cute. May not always be my thing, but it still is cute. Put a little, I think I might have cut it too short for a little bow, but we might can get a tiny one out of that. There we go. Wrap a little bow around it on each end. This looks really cute. So, Dollar Tree, the shamrocks, remember I got from Hobby Lobby. They were $2.99. It's 50%, which I don't know about the shamrock. That may come and go. But I know the Valentine's is 50% off. You get 3. No, it was 4. You get 4 shamrocks. You get this one is the biggest one. Then you had, like, you know, it goes down a stair. You had 4, and then even a smaller one that had 4. At Hobby Lobby. But this box is in their craft section at the Dollar Tree, not in your seasonal things up front. Go back in your craft section, and they have this one. They had one, I think, that the hole on the end was in the shape of a heart. They have ones that kind of are open on the side that look more like a palette. So they had 2 or 3 different boxes. So go in there and grab your box, and you can practice on you know, what you want to put on the end of it, and then you can make the life size. But Cheryl, since you weren't on here earlier, I'll show you how cute our craft tonight turned out. It's a bunny bucket, but you'll have to go back to see how I did it, because you want to make sure you get your, just remember, the sides and the bottom, no matter what length you do it, just make sure they're all the same length. So you really don't have to get your measuring tape out. Just cut one, kind of, you know, see how, and then cut the other. Use that as your ruler to cut the other 2, because as long as the 2 sides and the bottom are the same length, that's all you need to measure up. Did you get a dowel, dual heat gun with high and low switch. Yes. Now, when I went on Amazon and got this, there were ones anywhere from $12 to $25. I think there was some a little bit more than that were in this shape. I was scared to get the $12 one because it kept saying mini. So I'm really thinking the $12 one was a really small one like this, which probably works because this one right here I can tell is really too high for just when you're just drying some paint. So the miniature ones that are $12 probably work the same. Because this one I think I paid like $24 for it, but they were prime, and I ordered it Monday night and I got it today. It's like I said, it's the first thing I've ordered prime that I actually got prime time. But yes, it does have 2 settings on here. And it came with this little like rest that like holds it up, and I take it this little glass thing. It kind of gets a little warm, but it's supposed to prevent you from touching the part that's hot. So I think you could probably, if you saw the $12 one, go ahead and get the $12 one, especially if you're just thinking you're going to do stuff like this, just drying a little paint. I was just scared I'd get it, and, you know, what if it didn't? I don't want to have to order another one, so I went ahead and got the $25 one, but I think you'll be fine because that one really feels like it's a little too strong also. Oh my, I love it. Yes, Cheryl, go back and watch it because it's a really good little craft, and you can make it any size you need it. You could actually make it larger than what I wanted. That will be a cute 4-H project for beginner crafters. Yes, it would, because you see, as long as you go ahead and have the things cut out for them, I think it would be a little too complicated, like going in there and cutting it out, you know, or just use paint sticks, something that's already cut for you. And then I think it would be a great project. And you could walk them through it just like I did. You know, put these 3 sides, you know, you're going to put 3 sides together, the bottom and 2 sides, and they're going to be put together the exact same. Whether you do a complete piece of wood that you buy, like a 1x4, I think this is, or 1x5. See, I have this, and this is what's left over from the big box I did on my table. So I had 3 pieces left, so I just cut them a little short, a little bit shorter. And see, once you set this up, just like we did the other, and it's thick enough where you don't need Jenga blocks, you're gonna take this part and I nail it here, and then the end pieces, I've got to cut these down, but you just stick those in the side and you just shoot a little nail on, oops, you can't see this part, on the end like so, and you shoot a nail in there. And see, since I have this, that's why I told her to cut me an extra 2 of these, because then I may not have to put holes in it, and I can put these in the end, and it may be shorter than the one I have on the table now, but I can also do like a little, you know, box for my table. I mean, I just have this wood sitting here, so I thought I might as well make another box with it. So both boxes are super cute. Love them. Can't wait to see how you decorate them. It'll be a little while before you see the stuff in my tier for Valentine's Day. I don't want to take the stuff down on my table or my door, but probably right after Valentine's Day, I will put up my tray so I can start putting my St. Patrick's Day stuff on it, and then the Easter stuff that I've been making, I've been putting it on the fireplace in our bedroom. So really nobody can see it, but I still can display it and take pictures for you. Hey, Cindy from Massachusetts. I'm so glad you weren't late tonight, Dolores, and you got to catch everything. But all right, I've held y'all up long enough. Gosh, I've been on here an hour and a half. But thank y'all so much for watching. And so awesome. Thank you for showing me. I loved it. It's unpainted. But like I said, all I'm going to do is like paint it white and just put a little bit of the antiquing on it to just kind of distress it, farmhouse distress it a little bit. But I know I'll still have the option one day that if I needed to put it on a table, like if somebody, you know, like if I had a grandbaby or a niece or nephew or something one day that had to have like a little Easter party or at church, I'll be able to put it on the table and I can paint it any color I want with wood. I can paint it back white and make it go right back. Where did you get the bunnies from? Chris, I got somebody who does laser cutting on wood to cut them for me. If you have anybody in your area who has a laser cutter that will cut wood. You need to, especially, like, I would try to locate somebody in your area, even if they're just, 30 or 40 minutes away from you, because lots of times, like she does, they can really cut anything you want. They just have to be able to pull it up on the internet. And depending on who they are, a lot of people, do them out of their homes, small businesses, and you always need to shop local. You can get into them and they can see some of the things you need. Because Jennifer kind of, I think, is learning, like, when I say, I send her a picture on my phone and say, hey, can we do this? And then, like I said, as long as we can pull it up on the internet or something, we can do it. But if I didn't have her, I think I'd just cut it out of foam board or something. I mean, sometimes I get this idea in my head, I'm going to do it no matter what I have to cut it out of. Like I said, if she couldn't cut those napkin rings for me, I would have just gotten something that had a ring and just glued my hearts to the top of it. Because, you can wrap it in your jute string and you don't see where you've glued it together or anything. But we just got really lucky. She's a great friend, and like I said, she can cut out anything. And especially with COVID, she doesn't hardly go in her office anymore. She has a shop at her house that she always did the cutting out for. So now I just go straight to her shop, her where she cuts it. Not been so busy lately, so I'm on time. We're good. All right, well, y'all, I hope your weather doesn't get worse on you, but I think ours is fixing to get worse on you. It's been so beautiful here in Georgia with no rain, but the rain is coming, and supposedly they say we might get some snow. We never really get snow. We get sleet here. It'll probably just freeze the rain, and it'll be dangerous to drive, but who knows? Not been so busy. How did you get the pattern? The pattern I just Googled. You talking about for the rabbit. I Googled bunny outlines and just hit your image. And I found the bunny. I mean, there's got some that had the little crooked ear, pattern for you. And I just took the picture and I copy and pasted it to a document. And I enlarged it to the size I wanted it. And then I cropped the picture. And I don't know if you know anything about computers, but what cropping means is it was rounded at the bottom. And I cropped it up because you want your bottom to be flat. And I just did the bunny, and I sent it to her. And she was able just to pull it straight up from what I did. But if you have access to a computer and you can print it out, it's a little bit smaller because it's on a piece of paper. I didn't bring it in, but it's in my work bag. I have this pattern on a 8.5 by 11, a letter size. So as tall as it's going to be is 11.5 inches. But you still, let's see what she ended up doing this. I think we talked about around 18, but let's see. It's 8. She did it. It looks like it's a little bit over 17. So she didn't do it quite 18. So the one I could send you, I have the template for it. I could just email it to you and you could print it out. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. So mine would be, the top of it would go to right around here. Which is still, that's a good size for a table. But if you could print this off, if you have what they call ledger paper, or maybe I could send it to you and you could just copy the top on one piece of paper and copy the bottom and just print them both out and tape it together and you can get the size. I don't mind. I can take this to work tomorrow and trace it for you. I can really make it any size you want to. It's just how you could print it out. But I do that. If I want something that's 20 inches tall, I'll print the bottom and then I'll print the top on another piece of paper and I cut it and tape it together and you have your template. You just got to do what you got to do. But all you need is access to a printer. Like if you have a printer at home, because it's just an outline. So it doesn't going to take much ink at all. It's just going to be black and white. You don't need a color or anything like that. Heading out. Thanks for showing. Thank you, Martha. All right. Well, I haven't ran my mouth long enough. But if you want these, when I take a picture of my bunny, it's not painted yet, but I'll go ahead and take a picture of it. Either inbox me your email if you don't want anybody to know, or just comment underneath your email. And tomorrow when I get there, I can send it to you, and you can really make it any size you want to. All right, thanks so much, and I will see y'all tomorrow.